Hey guys, it's Margie, and today I'm completing my review of the 1993 film Schindler's List. I was planning to do this review originally all in one great big bulk, but I was interrupted, and now it's like 3 days later, so I am just now finishing this thing up. One thing I did want to tell you guys, though, that has happened since I started on part 1 is I am now bald. My hair is so super short because it was like really long compared to this. I got like 6 inches off and I literally feel so bald. I do, but I really like it, and it was definitely needed, much needed. Anyway, guys, moving on. Alright, so I believe if I remember correctly, we were talking about the directing. Watch part 1 if this part 2 is going to make any sense to you. But I was telling you guys about how the suitcase, we were talking about that suitcase. Sorry if I keep running my hand through my hair. And then it's so funny, I run my hand through my hair and I'm just like, it ends. And I'm like, there should be more. Anyway, no, but talking about, and I look bald right here. I don't know why that is. I'm not. Maybe I am, I don't know. Anyway, talking about the directing and how Steven, followed the suitcase through all the process of them removing all the valuables out of it. He had this heap of clothes, and he just had, the images in this film were so gripping, and I thought he did a really great job. I'm kind of not getting into the whole Oscar, thing. I may subtitle, though he was nominated for an Oscar, but I'm not really addressing that like I did with Lincoln, because I felt like that made my review super long, so we're trying to avoid that. Anyway, I thought he did a great job on the directing, and the only thing that I would have done was shorten it, but I don't know, there wasn't a ton of scenes that I would have, been cut, but it did kind of get a little long for my taste, but I don't know. That's just me being nitpicky. Let's talk about the music for this film. Oh, John Williams is a beast. I love him to death. This is such a great score, y'all, and it goes so brilliantly, I can't even talk, with this movie. It is just perfectly placed. It's just beautiful. It is. And I'm not just saying that because it's John Williams. I'm saying the music comes in at exactly the right time. It is something really lovely to see. The editing for this, which was done by Michael Kahn, again, I like the editing. I really did. Having just said that, I wish it would have been a little shorter. But I'm just being nitpicky. The editing was great. The cinematography for this, oh my goodness, I'm gonna butcher it. Janusz Kaminski always does well. Okay, I've watched his work several times, but I've only been aware that I was watching his work with Lincoln and this film. So anyway, the 2 times that I was aware, he did such a fantastic job. I just really like him. Again, I felt like in some scenes he went a little too dark with the lighting. And this film is in black and white, but that's just me being nitpicky. So I didn't really care for that. Anyway, I'm just being nitpicky on this one. There's nothing that I can really find wrong with it, other than there's a few things that I didn't really care for, but they weren't necessarily wrong. It's just I wouldn't have done it that way. So yeah. Anyway, the screenplay excuse me, for this was really good. I loved so many of the scenes, so many of the images, and I thought that the dialogue writing was pretty good too. It didn't blow me away, and there was a few times where I was just just say that final killer blow to your monologue or whatever, and it didn't quite get there for me. But again, nitpicky. Let's jump into the parents' guide for this one, guys. The language for this film, there is 9 F's and 3 B's, 2 D's, and 1 H. There's a lot of like drinking of alcohol, wine, like liquor and stuff like that. But there's no real drunkenness that I can remember. There is smoking. There's quite a bit of smoking. This movie is not extremely violent, but when it wants to be violent, it certainly got there. There's a man shot in the head, and we see the blood pour out of his wound. And it's like no joke. It's so realistic. Let's see here. Lots of gun violence. Just like, and not, when I say gun violence, I don't mean like people getting shot. There's a lot of that. I mean like, wave the guns around and that kind of thing. So be aware of that. Moving on to sexual content. This is definitely the worst category for Schindler's List, which surprised me to no end. I was expecting a little bit of nudity when dealing with the concentration camps, but that is far from all that was in this film. There's a sex scene. Well, there's like a couple sex scenes, and one of the characters is unfaithful to his wife multiple times. But anyway, in the sex scene, a woman is naked from the waist up, and a man is naked from behind. And as I said, one of the characters cheats on his wife multiple times. There's one scene in particular where Steven is showing the Jews in the concentration camp, and he's trying to kind of inform you of the harshness of their conditions, and they're having to like run around in a circle or something, I think. But anyway, all the extras are completely nude, and he does not try and hide anything. I mean, it's literally naked people everywhere, and you see everything. You could definitely skip past that scene, because that's just like one massive, thing, but, which I was expecting some of that, because, that really did happen. Like, they would take off all their clothes, and when they would, like, if they ever got to have the privilege of getting under any kind of water, they obviously wouldn't have any clothes on, and lice would, strip the Jews naked to, like, inspect them when they were first coming in. So I expected some of it. I just didn't expect that much, and I didn't really think it was necessary. I mean, he could have done, like, a couple of shots and then alluded to everything else and left it to our imagination without putting it all out there, but that's just me. And I'm not just saying that from, like, a Christian perspective. I'm just saying that as, like, in general. Like, I think if you would have left more to the imagination, it probably would have died. That's just me. I think this film is so iconic and so massive because of the subject matter and the topic and everything, but there were so many intense moments. Which this could kind of go under Parents' Guide too. Do not let your child watch this film until they're very mature, because there's so many moments of like peril and just tension and stress, and you're just like, what's going to happen, So it is it's a very heart-pounding film. Harrison Ford was offered the lead role, but turned it down because he thought his stardom would detract from the film's importance. Great call, Harrison Ford. Yay! Oh man, I just admire him so much for that, because that's totally true. I think he would have done a very good job, but it would have been like, oh, it's Harrison Ford, I'm going to go see the movie because of that, not because of... Anyway, yes, agree, totally agree, and I admire him more than I can say for stepping back and saying, no, this film needs to be about what actually happened and tell the story, not about give me another great role. So, totally admire him for that. Anyway, guys, this has been my movie review of the 1993 film Schindler's List. I'm giving this film 4 stars out of 5. Would I watch it again? Probably not. Just because... I mean, I know everything that has been, that went on. I would say it's a great historic film if you don't have any previous knowledge of, Germany in the 40s and Hitler and all that, because it's very educational. But I already knew almost all that stuff because I read a book several years ago called The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom. If you've not read that book, it is unbelievable. It's so good. But she was a Jew, and she was in a concentration camp for many years. But anyway, yeah, so I already knew that, so it's great for educational purposes, but for me, it did go on a long time, which I know, huge topic, lot to say. Again, yes, it went on, but I would have liked to have been a little shorter, and to me, it did kind of lose steam a little bit as it went on, but again, I mean, great film, especially as far as technically, there's not anything I can find to point fingers at. That's just my personal taste. I'm trying so hard to make these shorter for you guys because I know you don't have, 3 hours to dedicate to looking at my face. I feel kind of pathetic about this review because it's such a massive movie and I don't feel like I really talked about it enough or gave it enough justice and all that, but this is my feeble attempt while keeping it short. Anyway, guys, or at least shorter. Thank you so much for checking out this review. I hope to talk to you guys later, and please subscribe.